We are seeing big spikes in COVID-19 cases here in Northeast Florida, and a number of restaurants in the area, especially around the beaches, have been forced to shut down for a time because of exposure. So the ones that close, we definitely know there's been a problem. But what if some area businesses have employees who are testing positive or know of a customer who's come in with symptoms and are still open? That's a whole other story. Andy Trusovich is a labor and law employment expert. Good morning. So bottom line here is, if you hide, are you just setting yourself up for trouble?
I couldn't have said it any better. Transparency is the key. And a good example of that is we all know, have heard of the hairstylist up north that came in, had symptoms, went ahead and brought customers in, didn't tell their employer, and obviously the employer couldn't tell the customers. And absolutely they're setting themselves up for that.
So this is relatively new ground. What are the legal obligations? Are there any?
There are. So business owners are judged by, the objective reasonable standard. What is that? What would a reasonable, prudent business owner in the same or similar circumstance do to prevent the spread of COVID-19? And I know we're in I hate to use the pejorative word, a new world, but we are. And that's just the fact. And business owners are going to face litigation if they don't take reasonable steps. They don't have to do the impossible, but they do have to take reasonable steps. And what is that? Making sure their employees are properly wearing PPE, making sure that they're transparent. If someone does come up positive, immediately contact the local Department of Health and post it on either the restaurant or small business or business website and post it on the door, and then close for a night. And there's plenty of third-party vendors that can come in and sanitize it overnight and reopen. But transparency is the key. Business owners who try to hide are going to have angry customers. And I've been doing this for 28 years. Angry customers are the ones that sue.
So you've got the here and now, but you've also got the future. That said, should they also reach out to their regular customer base?
Absolutely. If they can do contact tracing, and depending on the size of a company, a smaller restaurant, I would recommend that they keep a log of who comes in and who goes. That way, if the Department of Health or some plaintiff's lawyer says, what did you do to take steps? There's what I call easy low-hanging fruit for business owners, and that is have a sanitization log. How often are you sanitizing the environment? Depending on the foot traffic, is that every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hour? Have a log of who did it, at what time, what was done, who came in. Obviously, if it's a big box retail store, they can't keep track of who comes in and who doesn't, but you said it perfect. Their regular business base, and contact those customers and let them know, if they tested positive, a coworker or another customer, let them know. We don't know if they caught it here, but we at least wanted to let you know. Customers that are informed are not angry, and non-angry customers don't sue.
And do you have to worry about privacy issues?
You do. So as far as, let's say a coworker or employee came up positive with COVID-19. Under HIPAA, you can't release that name, but if it's a small environment, they're probably going to know, but the employer has a duty not to release the name. And they don't have to release the name. They can just say, we had a positive test or a positive case. And the EEOC just came out with new guidelines at the end of last week saying employers can test for current virus, in other words, current systems, but the EEOC said you cannot test for antibodies, meaning if someone had it before, because that would violate the American with Disabilities Act. So the EEOC just came out with that guidance last week. You can test for current symptoms, but not for the antibody test.
All right, Andy, some valuable advice for the business owners out there and all of us who basically patronize those business owners. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Stay safe and appreciate you having me.
You as well.